Dear students, so today let us be study about the chemical properties of the soil. In the last class, we have studied the physical properties of the soil. The chemical properties of the soil include inorganic matter of soil, organic matter in the soil, colloidal properties of soil particles, soil reactions and buffering action. That is, in this we have acidic soil and basic soils. Inorganic component, that is the mineral matter of the soil, is composed of many types of minerals which influence the properties of the soil. The differences among soils are due to relative abundance of such minerals. These have definite crystalline structures and are classified into primary and secondary minerals. Primary minerals are formed from igneous and metamorphic rocks at higher temperatures. Secondary minerals are formed from sedimentation rocks at lower temperature. These minerals control adsorption, transformation, and other behavior of chemical constituents. Electrochemical properties of soil surface depend on climate, parent material, and vegetation. Aluminosilicate minerals are commonly referred as clay minerals. Primary minerals of the soil include quartz, muscovite, muscovitite, biotite, feldspar, amphiboles, tremolite, pyroxene, diopside, olivine, rhodonite, etc. Secondary minerals of the soil include the clay minerals, kaolinite, chlorite, olefin, hematite, pyrolusite, dolomite, calcite, gypsum. The sand and silt fraction consists of mainly quartz, feldspar, micas, pyroxene, olivine, etc. Iron and manganese are found as metal oxides. Most of the soil organic material originates from plant tissues containing 60 to 90% moisture. The remaining dry residue consists of carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, small amounts of nitrogen, sulfur, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, and magnesium. These nutrients are very important from the fertility management of the soil. Soil organic matter consists of partially decomposed plant and animal residues, the humus, which is a more resistant product of decomposition. It is colloidal in nature and dark colored organic matter. Microorganisms also add to humus. Decomposition of organic matter is larger a biological process. Its speed depends on soil organisms, the physical environment, and the quality of the organic matter. Humus is the most reactive part of the organic matter. It contains humic acids, fulvic acids, hematomelanic acids, and humins. These interact with metal ions, oxides, hydroxides to form water-soluble and insoluble complexes responsible to the growth of the plants. Some of these complexes can also act as plant hormones. There are two types of colloids in the soil, namely mineral colloids or clay colloids and organic or humus colloids. These two are intimate to each other, hence difficult to separate. Clay particles are formed from silica, alumina, iron and combined water. Humus colloid contains 8% each of lignin, protein, polyurenides, that is the sugars, and uronic acid complex. Its content is more in peaty soil, that's more than 50%, and least in sandy soil. Now coming to some of the electrical properties of colloids. The electrically charged colloids are termed as missiles or missiles. They carry either positive or negative charge. Soil clay particles are negatively charged. Therefore, they attract positively charged cations. When electric current is passed through the soil suspension, clay particles move towards the positive pole. This phenomenon is called electrophoresis. Cation exchange capacity of soils. Clay and organic colloids have negative charges on them. They attract and hold positive ions present in the soil like calcium ions, magnesium ions, potassium ions, imide ions, which has come from ammonium fertilizers by the process of adsorption. This will accompanied by release of one or more ions held by colloidal missile. This is known as cation exchange in the soil. Divalent cations are more effectively adsorbed than the monovalent cations. Hydrogen ion is exception for this, while is the most powerful replacer of cations. The replacing capacity of these ions is hydrogen ions have greater capacity of attraction than the calcium ions, than the potassium ions, and then the sodium ions. The number of cations adsorbed per unit weight of 100 grams dry soil is called cation exchange capacity. The exchange reaction is always very quick and reversible. Soils rich in organic colloids show anion exchange also. In this process, negatively charged ions held by colloids are replaced by hydroxide ions, dihydrogen phosphate ions, sulfate ions, and nitrate ions. The relative order of exchange is hydroxide ions have greater capacity than dihydrogen phosphate, and then the sulfate ion, and then the nitrate ions. The knowledge of cation and anion exchange is of great help in reclaiming acidic and alkaline or saline soils. Some soils are acidic, basic, or neutral. These are described in terms of hydrogen ion concentration or pH values. The soil having pH less than 7 is called acidic soil, more than 7 is called basic soil, and equal to 7 is called neutral soils. The solution which resists the change in pH even after the addition of small amount of acidic or base is called buffer solution. The property of soil to resist the change in pH is called buffer action. This is due to the presence of large quantity of weak acids and their salts in the soils. Phosphates, carbonates, bicarbonates, and other salts of weak inorganic acids and their corresponding acid themselves are important buffering agents in the soils. Besides this, colloids associated with cations are important buffering agents. The buffer action of soil is directly governed by the amount and nature of the clay and organic or humus colloids present in it. The buffer action of the soil is important in agriculture to stabilize the pH of the soil and the quantity of lime, sulfur, etc. needed to correct the acidity or alkalinity. Now let us we know about the chemistry of the clays. Clay mineral include the phyllosilicate or sheet silicate family of minerals which are characterized by their layered structures composed of polymeric sheets of silica along with aluminium oxide, magnesium oxide, iron oxide and oxides of alkali. The mineral name of clay is kaolinite. The formula SiO2 twice, Al2O3 point the dihydrate H2O twice. It is insoluble in water and becomes dark and develops early odor when wet. The small size of particles and their unique crystal structures give clay materials special properties. These properties include cation exchange capabilities, plastic behavior, when wet, catalytic abilities, swelling behavior, and low permeability. Clay is the most active fraction of the soil. Clay minerals have mainly tetrahedrally arranged silicate and octahedrally arranged aluminate groups. Wet clay will feel heavy and sticky. It is slightly alkaline. Clay is less denser than sandy soil. Clays have plate-shaped particles held together by electrostatic forces when wet. This makes clay so slippery. Clay soil is good for agriculture as it holds both moisture and nutrients. So this is about some of the chemical properties of the soil. This slide shows the characteristics features of sandy soil, silt soil and the clay. So the sand is a loose granular material formed by the disintegration of the rocks. Silt is dust-like sediment material transported and disposed by water, deposited by water, ice and wind. Clay is a type of extremely fine grained natural soil material containing clay minerals. Sandy soil having a coarse and larger particles. Silt soil ranges between the sand and clay, and the clay soil is having extremely fine particles. The size of the sandy soil ranges from 2 to 0.005. This is already we have studied in the physical properties. The size ranges from 0.002 to 0.006 millimeter and lower than 0.002 millimeter the clay particles they show. So the sand is having no plasticity, very low or no plasticity for silt soil, but the clay is having high plasticity. So this is another slide that also shows the characteristics of different soil particles. This slide shows the physical and chemical characteristics of soil. The physical characteristic includes soil texture, consistency and structure, soil compaction, that is bulk density, and soil moisture. The chemical properties of the soil, it includes chemical bonding, the pH, cation exchange capacity, nutrient availability. This slide also shows the same, that is the chemical properties of the soil. The ability of soil to provide the essential elements needed for plant growth includes the availability of these elements. The other chemical properties of the soil include clay minerals present, humus content, cation exchange, and soil reaction, that is the pH of the soil. So here also some of the other chemical properties are included, that is basically the pH. The soil pH influences the availability and solubility of nutrients and stable, neutralish. pH is important for soil microbes. NPK macronutrients are needed for the plants in the form of nitrates, phosphates. So here I have shown the acidic and alkaline condition, how the plants, they show the different colors. The soil pH is based on the amount of hydrogen ion present in the soil. Soil will either be acidic, that is pH less than 7, or the neutral or alkaline. So here in acidic condition, the soil gives the flowers of this in pink color, and in basic condition, the same plant, it shows the blue coloration to the flowers. So this is a slide that shows the testing parameters of the soil, like the pH, then electrical conductivity, organic carbon that is present, available nitrogen, available phosphorus, and available potassium. These are tested by glass electrode method for pH and conductivity method for electrochemical, wet digestion method for organic carbon, and alkaline potassium permanganate titration with available nitrogen, and Olsen's method for available phosphorus, and flame photometer method for the available potassium present in the soil. So here also I have shown the pH of the soil. Most soil resist appreciable pH changes, resistance due to the buffer capacity. Soils high in humus or morpholinite or vermiculite clay have high buffering capacity. Organic and clay soils much higher CEC, more strongly buffered than sandy soils. So here the slide shows the colloidal nature of the soils. A colloid is a substance microscopically dispersed throughout another substance. Now the colloidal particles are not as small as particles in solution. Colloids are cloudy looking. Particles are constantly in motion. Colloids can't be filtered. Colloids can be mixtures of different phases of matter. This is a slide that shows the cation exchange. Soil colloids will attract and hold positively charged ions to their surface. Replacement of one ion for another from a solution is known as cation exchange. Adsorbed cations resist removal by leaching. This can be replaced by other ions by mass action. This cation exchange takes place on clay or humus colloids and on root surfaces. Similarly, the anions, they are negatively charged like sulfate ions, nitrate ions, phosphate ions, chloride ions, etc. These ions not held on CEC sites, anion exchange sites, positively charged sites, or the ligand exchange sites. Anion exchange resins, they have highest anion exchange capacities occur in amorphous liquid clays. They have low pH relates to high AAC values. Now in the soil clays, they spread apart, allows soil solution to pass through the layers. They are tightly bonded layers, little room between the micelles. So the various examples about the clay we have given, and also the other aspects of the clay in this slide. The modern uses of the clay. The clay is used in making pottery, in building materials, and it is also one of the best odor absorbent. So it is used in oil drilling wells, in gasoline production uses, clay-based catalysts are used. It is even used in paper making, hazardous waste cleanup, cement production, chemical filtering, mold binders, landfill barriers, and even a dam core. So in all these cases, the clay is used. This is a slide that shows the properties of the soil and what are the required amount it should be present in that soil. So go through this slide to know about the the datas. Yes, thank you students.